Hey, what's up? A new patch has been released, but first I want to mention a really cool video made by one of my clanmates, SmZ. So, good job, SmZ. Good job. I watched the video, it's really good. And you're in my clan, which makes it better. So, I really, I personally think that the guy deserves much more views for the quality he produces. Like, the video effects are just amazing. Like, much better than my effects, even though I use none. But that doesn't matter. Please check out the guy if you can. Or if you like just some good HoN montages, it's called the SomaZ clan montage or just SomaZ montage. Although it is SmZ, but saying that is kind of weird, isn't it? You can just click anywhere on the screen to go to the video, or the link will be directly in the description. Like the first thing you will see is the link to that video. So check it out. I mean, it's just some cool HoN kills and stuff with good editing. Pretty much. Yeah, just a really good video. I liked it. You should like it too, or at least check it out. So, this video is going to be also about the patch, so the video was like a main thing. And the reason I do it is, as always, because there are balance changes, and I like explaining about, I don't know what it is about balance. I just like talking about balance. Like any game at all, StarCraft 2, Diablo, HoN, of course, most of all, because HoN has a ton of heroes that are hard to balance, and I love talking about that. Also, an update about suggestions. Suggestions, you remember when I did that thing with suggestions and stuff? Yeah, some of the suggestions made to tier 1, which to make to tier 1 they need like 20 plus votes and 85% yes or something. So anyway, thanks for checking out the suggestions. Even if you voted no, it's totally cool. I mean, 4 suggestions made it into the tier 1, which means more people will see them. And I think some SmZ devs only look at like tier 1 suggestions and don't bother with the rest, but that is still pretty cool. And if some of those get implemented, it would be even cooler, because all I'm interested in is just making the game better, pretty much. So some shoutouts: Jamestown, Macrohard, and pretty much other people from SmZ, Viol as well. Viol, that's mostly for making me admin in my chat SomaZ, which is right here, but I really don't want to click on it because there's probably a bunch of stuff that will distract me there. Looks like the chat server crashed again, and I'm too lazy to ask SmZ devs to make me admin again. I'll just do it later sometime, so you can spam away for now. Actually, don't do that. Don't do that. This video is going to be about balance, so I'll just mention that as fast as I can and explain as fast as I can. So, Armadillo damage increased from 200 to 250. The damage you need to take for a quill to be released, a spray, you know, like when he releases quills in all directions. His second skill, his third skill, the passive, releases a quill every 200, well now 250 damage. So is this big of a difference? Well, before he would release quills every 300 damage, I think, at some point. And back then, believe it or not, Armadillo was considered underpowered. Like, he was a pretty bad hero, no one but he picked him up. So that's how bad 300 is. So they made it 200. I think they made it 250 at some point. So with 200, still pretty bad, I would say. Still pretty, I mean, it's bad, but because it's now broken. So 250 seems like the sweet spot because, well, 300 was underpowered, 200 is overpowered. And yeah, I don't think there was any doubt that Armadillo is an overpowered hero. I think everyone agrees that he's a bit too strong, how he can just run away and freaking kill everyone. Yeah. So how much is this 200, 250? Well, think of it this way. If Armadillo had 2000 health and he was just running away and you were attacking him from the back, instead of releasing 10 sprays, he'll now release 8 sprays, which is 2 sprays less, which with all the stacks and stuff, which maximum damage is like 230. I think so. That's like about 400 less damage before he dies. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. Some people reported that Armadillo is still a good hero, and that is good. But in any case, this is definitely a step in the right direction. Hopefully it won't be nerfed further to 300, because then he might be in trouble and people might stop using Armadillo, but let's see how it works out. That's a good change. I agree with it. Next we have Balfagor. Magic minions magic armor increased. Just minion, not magic minions, although they are kind of magic. Magic armor increased from 3 to 4. This means those minions you have, they can now take more damage from skills, which means it will be harder to clear them out with like a pyromancer or a witch slayer or something. But on the other hand, the minions can no longer attack when Belphegor is not near. This means when you run away or when you die, the minions cannot keep attacking. And I think those situations were quite often. I mean, just myself, I remember when I would attack their base, and when I died or when I just ran back, I left my minions there to keep attacking, like Thirax, for example, and deal damage. And oftentimes it made a huge difference. Their racks actually died. So you can no longer do that. So overall, I'd say this is a nerf. They want extra magic armor is nice and all, but the minions not being able to attack while you're not there is pretty freaking big. So you now actually have to put yourself in danger when you're pushing. And in my balance video, I said that Belphegor is borderline overpowered, if not overpowered, because he's really, really good. And all he has to do is just stand there and then press R. So I agree with this nerf. It will make his pushing power a bit weaker. Yeah, overall a good change. So next we have Berserker cast range of his third skill lowered, which was his third skill really that much of a problem? I don't know. And Carnage, his ultimate, the physical damage rescaled from 8% to 678%. So basically, when you activated your ultimate, you'd get 8% of your max health in damage, right? So now you get 6, 7, 8. So less on early levels. This change, I'm a fan of it because if it's a nerf, yeah, that's good because Berserker is strong. But the problem with Berserker is that his ultimate costs no mana and has only a 30-second cooldown. So every 30 seconds you become pretty much unkillable. Like mass disables won't work on you, and if you have a decent amount of lifesteal, you just dish out. Even if you do die, you have the time to dish out crazy amounts of damage before you do. So that is a good change, but I think it doesn't touch the problem, which is his ultimate being crazy and used very often. In case Gunblade lethal damage, I don't really know how Gunblade works. He's just a weird hero that deals more damage in melee range as a ranged hero. So perhaps he was overpowered. I don't know. He does deal quite a lot of damage, and with invisibility he's hard to deal with, but that's more because people don't like revelation in pubs. If you counter invisibility, the hero isn't really that much of a problem. And, well, I don't know. I guess if it was overpowered, this change is good. I didn't really see his third skill as being, oh my god, that's strong. So, can't really comment too much on it, unfortunately. This is like the first time. I don't know, Gunblade seemed like being more or less balanced to me. This change doesn't really change much. I will still level my shield over my third skill early game, so this does not change my skill build. Maybe this is what the change is aimed, so it's kind of worse by 10% on early levels, so people don't grab it early. I mean, the shield gives you movement speed, and it protects you. It's just so much better early game. Jiraiya. Movement speed lowered. Yeah, Jiraiya was overpowered. The problem with Jiraiya though is his ultimate, which makes your team unkillable for like 8 seconds on level 3, I think. I'm not sure. But ultimate lasts too long. Movement speed lowered, well, yeah, that will kind of affect quite a few things. I mean, with your aura, you won't be able to kite people as good now. So this is a nerf to how much you can kite people. Just a nerf to Jiraiya. Yeah, 5 movement speed doesn't seem like it mattered as much, but I mean, if someone before had also had like, let's say 305 movement speed or 310 movement speed, wait, my logic is kind of failing here. Okay, let's rephrase that. If someone had more than 310 movement speed, which doesn't happen often, he would have the chance to get away from Jiraiya, but now he only needs to be 305 movement speed or above, which is much more often. So there, I explained that. Keeper of the Forest, next change is his animated trees base attack speed increased from 1 to 1.5. This means they will be attacking not once every second, but once every 1.25 seconds. So that is quite the nerf to the damage output of the trees. They basically attack slower now, and by quite a lot too. You'll probably notice it in game that they're slower now. And this pretty much decreases farming speed of Keeper of the Forest. I'm not sure what I feel about this change. Keeper of Forest is one of those heroes that, yes, he does farm very, very fast. He can come out with like 400 GPM easily. But the problem is that Keeper of the Forest is not really a carry. He can't really do much with that gold that he gets. Yeah, he can get like another Parasite, a Mock, and a ton of damage, but he still does not contribute that much. Like, he's never super broken. Yeah, he's pretty hard to take down, but apart from his ultimate, he doesn't really offer too much. Unless he has like super crazy GPM. So this slows down his farming speed, but I don't know, I never really saw Keeper of the Forest as too much of a problem. Yeah, he's annoying to deal with, I suppose, and he's really hard to gank on early levels, but he's also not that strong. His pushing power is a bit good, so, oh yeah, this also impacts pushing power. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think of that. So, perhaps for pushing power, this is a good change. I'm not sure, we'll see. I just didn't see Keeper of the Forest as that uber of a hero, but he was pretty annoying. Annoying is one thing, but overpowered and underpowered is another thing. And last but not least, we have a SmZ Desert Curse change. So, a lot of people might not understand this. I will explain it so that you understand. So, Desert's Curse is SmZ's first Q skill, the one that sends out sand. And Deserted is his second skill that deals true damage to the target if it's alone. 15, 25, 35, 45 damage. So with this change, what this change does is that if the target is under the effects of Desert Curse, which is your first skill, so if it just gets hit by it, if it stands on it, or if you just launch at it directly, if it's under the effects of Desert's Curse, it will take damage from your second skill, Deserted. Like, definitely, even if there's like 10,000 enemies nearby, it will take damage no matter what. And it's true damage, so it's pretty substantial. So now you have more incentive to just use your first skill on someone and chase him down, because you will be dealing that bonus true damage, which is really good. So this is, of course, a buff to SmZ, but is it enough? We will see about that. I don't know. SmZ is a pretty interesting hero. I mean, he's a hard carry, but what I like about him is that he can be anywhere on the map. And for a hard carry, that's pretty good. So potentially, if you use your ultimate and always teleport for a kill, like you actually have to properly teleport, they fixed it so that you have to deal at least 10% of damage with your illusion to get the assist gold, which is pretty hard to deal 10% of target's max health as damage with an illusion, if at all possible. I'm not sure. So you have to teleport yourself and at least deal a bit of damage. If you're attacked, your passive will automatically deal a bit of damage and earn you assists. So yeah, SmZ is an interesting hero. He was underpowered, yeah, for sure. So this change is really good. Really agree with it. So to recap, Armadon, good change. Belphegor, good change. Those heroes were overpowered. Berserker, good change. Could be more, but he was also overpowered. Gunblade, not sure. I'm kind of neutral about this. Jerziah, good changes, and he needed a nerf, but not sure this will be enough. Keeper of the Forest, I was neutral about him, but we'll see what this change does. Keeper of the Forest were definitely not underpowered. And SmZ, good change. He was underpowered, he needed this. So that's my view on the balance. I gave out some shoutouts, and yeah, check out the guy's video, Sither. His editing skills are really, really good. I don't know, he's definitely done this before, I think, like make videos, or he's studying for it, something. He can't be this good without that. So yeah, check out the guy promoting clan SomaZ. I don't check stats of people when they join, but I'm pretty sure my clan is full of like 1700 people mostly. Yeah. See ya.